Ms. Mace, is this, I guess I'm trying to understand where we're taking this. And it's, when it comes to the transparency aspects, I'm 100% for that. We should do that.
Then vote for it.
But I'm trying to understand, why is it okay to say just the members and not staff?
Congresswoman Mace, I do have a title like everybody else in this room.
Come on, Nancy. We're just trying to have a conversation. I'm trying to get an assertion.
Congresswoman Mace, I have earned a title, and I watched the majority of men in this body just vote down a measure
Nancy,
to not disclose sexual
Congresswoman Mace,
harassment
I've never
records
disrespected
of
you at all. I'm
members
not
of
being
Congress.
disrespectful.
You
I'm
just
trying to get an
disrespected me as a
assertion.
woman.
Recorded vote has been ordered. All votes will be rolled to the end of the debate. Okay, now the next motion, number 3 out of 4 is Ms. Mace, the Mace number 2, pertaining to her issue, and I'll yield to Ms. Mace.
This would be a subpoena for information on the sexual harassment slush fund. That's really, I want those documents and information related to it and members that were included in it.
Okay. Chair recognizes ranking member.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have some comments on Representative Mace's motion, and then I'd want to offer just a slight amendment to it, which I think would help protect certain staff. And I just want to kind of clarify. First, I want to appreciate the actual effort. I think that obviously there shouldn't be funds to protect any member of Congress that's been engaged in any type of sexual harassment or abuse of anyone. So I do appreciate that effort. Now, we have heard some concerns from the Office of General Counsel that the breadth of this motion, covering members, senators, staff, Library of Congress staff, GPO, GAO, Capitol Police, and other entities and employees covered within the actual motion, makes it more likely that the Office of Congressional Workplace Rights could push back based on some confidentiality language. It also, there's been concern from our members that it does not protect staff enough, that there could be a chilling effect on staff. I understand the intent of the motion. So, Congresswoman, I just want to add, if you'd be willing to accept this amendment, we think this would clarify this. Mr. Chairman, I move the committee issue. I'm sorry, let me look here. Oh,
I get a copy of the language, because my language redacts names of victims and witnesses.
Correct. There is still some concerns. Let me just offer the amendment to see if you're amenable to it. Mr. Chairman, I move the committee issue. I'm sorry, 1 second. Where'd it go? Right here? Here it is.
They're trying to cover for their
at the end of your motion
just now.
So, Representative Mace, at the end of the motion, we would add this language, and I'm happy to pass this out, which we're putting out right now. At the end of the motion, we would add, the awards and settlements will be limited to a payment made for an award or settlement in connection with the claim alleging a violation committed personally by an individual who, at the time of committing the violation, was a member of the House of Representatives, including a delegate or resident commissioner to the Congress or a senator. Are we okay with that?
I'm fine with language.
Okay. Yep. That is something that we believe that we could support. This amendment would limit this, of course, would limit this to members, senators, and we would, with that, I would recommend that we vote yes to support this amendment.
Officially making an amendment?
That is the amendment to add to the motion.
Mr. Garcia would like to amend the motion basically to exclude staff.
So that we can actually focus this on who I think the representative is trying to get to, which is members.
Mr. Chairman, he's using language out of basically Rule 23 of the House rules, so I'm fine with that. Limiting it to House members, Senate, et cetera. I'm good with this.
Okay. So the amendment has been offered. I guess the debate is now on the amendment to the motion. I saw Luna, then Biggs. Luna?
All right. I support Representative Mace's subpoena here, as well as the amendment to it. And I just think it's really disgusting how this institution protects itself, because y'all just half of them voted to send this stuff to House Ethics, where you know it's going to die. We know that members of Congress are using taxpayer dollars to pay off sexual harassment. We just had a member of Congress literally sexually harass a woman that then lit herself on fire, and you guys all protected him. Yep. You guys all protected my own side, your side. And so if you guys want to talk about victims, if you want to go out and virtue signal, and then you guys are going to kill her stuff on the floor and then try to pass it, yeah, of course, we should subpoena all of this stuff. But just, I'm not going to sit here and play games. I think it's a complete fraud. I think that's why the American people hate us. I think the midterms are coming up, and everyone should go on record for this. And I hope that members are exposed for this. I hope it goes back, I think, to the 70s, because it's wrong that it's happening. It's wrong that we cover up for it. It's wrong that we can't censure our own side because people are busy making deals because you guys don't want to censure your side. It's a deal that's been cut, and people hate us for it. So yeah, I support it.
Thank you,
Chair
Representative.
recognizes Mr. Biggs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a question because I want to make sure that I understand it. On the second line of the motion where it talks about for the awards or settlements paid, that seems to me that it would exclude with the amendment, although I do think it narrows it more than perhaps I would like it to see, but I'll yield it back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman. It's really more a question on I'm assuming an amendment to the motion.
This is the Garcia amendment to exclude staff.
All right, so I guess my question for Mr. Garcia is why are we going to make a limitation on staff? If congressional dollars have been utilized for the purposes of essentially trying to cover up or cure harassment that's occurred, why are staff members being exempted from that level of transparency?
No, I think that's a good question. So in our conversations with the Office of General Counsel, I think the one concern, and it's been brought up by some members as well, is that there are some staff in congressional offices and other places that they have made settlements for a variety of different reasons. And the concern is that they, in a process of disclosure, could be unprotected from their settlement process that they agreed to. And the Office of General Counsel is unclear that they would be protected in those cases. And so that is the concern. At the end of the day, I think the intent is this is for members of Congress and for senators. So that's the one thing that we're trying to clarify.
The ranking member yield for a question.
Hold on, real quick. And I appreciate that, but I guess what I'm trying to understand is if that's the standard for a staff member, that there was a settlement based upon the reasonings that you said, but that same level isn't for the staff member, whether they're a current member or a previous member that's been in this body. I guess I'm just trying to understand what the limiting principle is for what we're trying to accomplish. Because if the goal is transparency to make sure that harassment that has occurred on Capitol Hill is now transparent, but that's only for elected members, current and past, but doesn't deal with staff members, both current and past, then I fail to see how the level of transparency is being arrived at with the motion.
No, I appreciate it. Can I say one more thing? I think this is a good back and forth. I think the other issue is there's some concern that staff members that have on their own agreed to a settlement, and if there is additional disclosure in a settlement that they negotiated for a variety of different reasons, if they were the actual victim, that this would cause a chilling effect in small legislative offices.
No, I understand that, but by that logic, that would occur throughout the entire Capitol complex under that logic. Because if you're going to say that in a small legislative office, where let's be clear, half of the House has small legislative offices, if that's the case, wouldn't that same logic proceed to the floor of the House and the floor of the Senate? And mind you, I'm in favor of the motion. I'm in favor of transparency, but I'm trying to ascertain, are we trying to create a limit to that transparency for the stuff that, to be blunt, is just hot topic? Or are we trying to have transparency?
No, can I respond one more time? So I actually think this is an important debate as piece of this. I'm going to support the motion. We want to support the motion as Democrats. We believe that Representative Mace is. We think we know what she's trying to get at here. We want to support it. What we're trying to do is address a real concern of some of our members and the office and the offices that we're talking to about could this have a chilling effect on certain small offices that have gone into settlements. That's what we're trying to eliminate. I think the focus here is on members of Congress and senators. I think this amendment tries to address that. Either way, we're going to support the final motion. I certainly am. And so I just wanted to pass it along. Thank you.
Mr. Donalds, would you yield for a few seconds?
Yes, sir.
I just want to say I agree with you. I think if we're going to do this, we don't exclude anyone. If we're going to disclose the settlement, let's disclose every penny where it went, even if it went to staff. Because at some point people are going to say the amount of money that was paid out, and I have no idea how much was paid out. I don't know a single person that was paid other than maybe the former member from Texas a few years ago, but they're going to say a dollar amount, and everybody's going to assume it was all members. Well, it could have been 25% members, 75% staff, or it could be 100% members. I say disclose the whole thing. So I oppose the Garcia amendment. But I yield back to you, Byron.
I mean, Chairman, I guess my question would be for the original sponsor of the motion, Ms. Mace. Is this? I guess I'm trying to understand where we're taking this, and it's when it comes to the transparency aspects, I'm 100% for that. We should do that.
Then vote for it.
But Nancy, that's not. I'm not saying I'm voting no. Like, I'm for it, but I'm trying to understand. Why is it okay to say just the members and not
Congresswoman
staff?
Mace, I do have a title like everybody else in this room.
Come on, Nancy. We're just trying to have a conversation. I'm trying to get an assertion.
Congresswoman Mace, I have earned a title, and I watched the majority of men in this body just vote down a measure
Nancy,
to
I have never,
not disclose sexual
Congresswoman Mace,
harassment
I've never
records
disrespected
of
you at all.
members
I'm not
of
being
Congress.
disrespectful.
You
I'm
just
trying to get an
disrespected me as a
assertion.
woman.
No, I did not. You're
The tax-
taking it
do
too
the
far. I'm
taxpayers
trying to
pay
get
your
an understanding
salary?
of what we're doing here. That's
The
all I'm saying.
taxpayers pay our salary. And taxpayers paid out
The
these
core question,
settlements.
reclaiming my time now.
Well, you're
the core
overtime
of the
now.
question is, why is there okay for a limitation just to members if these dollars have been paid on behalf potentially of staff both currently on Capitol Hill and previously employed on Capitol Hill?
Look, I'm
if we're
in
seeking
favor
transparency,
of,
what's
I'm
the
in
limit?
favor of full disclosure, but if the other side of the aisle is concerned about legal limitations in disclosing it and not working, then I'm okay with focusing on just on members of Congress of both bodies, the House and the Senate. If you would like to do your own amendment either or do your own subpoena afterwards, then do that too. But this thing has to pass. I mean, the American people, we expect the American people to be held accountable to a totally different standard. And now we're saying, oh, because we don't have staff included, we're just going to vote this thing down. I'm talking about members of Congress, bodies in this House, bodies in the Senate. That's where the focus should be because the taxpayers are paying our salaries. And if this thing fails because of a technicality, then that is a failure of the American people is where I'm going with it. I want this thing to pass. I would like it to be unanimous. I would like both parties to vote for it, especially after the abject failure we just saw on the floor
I'm a
just
minute
now.
30 over, so I'm going to reclaim. All I'm going to say, if there's a technical concern, then what we're saying also is that the technical concern is not universal. That we're now picking and choosing what the technical concern is. And if we're going to now slay motions for this transparency, I would just say we should actually examine, according to what the chairman is saying, are we going to be consistent or are we not? That's all I'm saying. I yield back.